Well, it is a full moon, and I am howling on Hinkle Mountain. You all can call me Digger. Bet he's bad as a bone. Somebody should get that fella a sandwich. Get me one while you're at it, too. Have any of you all ever been to Richwood, almost heaven, West Virginia? Well, let me tell you, there is nothing better than venison from Dunnigan Holler or rainbow trout from the Cherry River. Now, Richwood got its name because the hills, well, they're rich in wood. You can tell the time of day by the Georgia Pacific Lumber Mill work whistle, and our high school mascot, well, it is the mighty lumberjack. Coal was king too. In fact, the miners that worked the hoot owl shift over at Allen Creek, they would talk about the gremlins that lived in the mine shafts. Said they could lead you to coal or lead you away from danger. Do you believe that? Well, do you? So, you got your venison. You got your trout. You're cooking it all over an open campfire. You got your brown beans. You got your cornbread. And it is all so delicious. But there's one thing missing. Ramps. Now, I'm not talking about those ramps that Evel Knievel drove his Harley over when he tried to jump them buses at Caesar's Palace. Viva Las Vegas! Thank you. Thank you very much. In this case, ramps is short for Ramson, as in Richwood's Feast of the Ramson, as in Richwood, West Virginia, is the ramp capital of the world. So what exactly is a ramp? Well, a ramp, it is a delicious wild onion that grows in the hills. Now, when you go to dig these, you have to be very careful because they generally grow right next to the wolfsbane. Now, wolfsbane, the flower is pretty. They smell nice, but they're poisonous, especially when the moon is high in the sky. Now, of course, ramps can be dangerous in their own way. You see, you fry them up in a skillet, and you add them to your deer meat, or your trout, or both. And as you consume them, there is an aroma that permeates your whole body. Now, some people don't refer to it as an aroma. They refer to it as an odor. Now, let me just put it to you this way. If you have your ramps for Sunday dinner, and you go to the dentist's office on Monday morning and get your teeth worked on, and they put you in that chair, and they tell you to say, ah, ah. Well, they may just have to call the undertaker. Not for you, but for the dentist. Now, that's what my daddy did for a living. No, he was not a dentist. He was an undertaker. He ran the ambulance service too. In fact, the hearse and the ambulance, they were the same vehicle. His name was Frankie. Our mother's name was Sue. She was a nurse, but she was also the den mother at our Cub Scout group, called her Mama Bear. Our dog Slim, well, he was known to bark at the moon a time or two, and my brother Kurt, everybody called him the ornery one. I don't think that's entirely true. He wanted to go fast. He did. He was. And that was it. You can call me Digger. We lived on the corner of Oakford Avenue and Cranberry Street. Now, our Uncle Homer had a place up on top of Hinkle Mountain. To get there, you go to the top of Oakford Avenue and you make a left off that paved road. You go about a half mile, you will see what is left of an old one-room schoolhouse. At one time, that is where all the children of Richwood, West Virginia went to learn to read, learn to write, arithmetic, learn about life. Our grandmother's name was Nancy. She taught there. We just called her Nan. She was a fine teacher, but she was a fine cook too. Can almost taste the fried chicken and smell the corn pone. You go a little beyond there, and you'll see an orchard of apple trees. You make a left, that puts you at Horse Ridge. You go a little bit further up, you are at the top of Hinkle Mountain. And you've reached Uncle Homer's place. He had a stable, 13 horses. My two favorites were Casper, the friendly ghost horse, and Sandman, fine Arabian. He had some cows, he had some pigs, he had some sheep, not bad. One particular night though, he lost practically all his livestock. Whatever this beast was, it took the animal's hide, hooves, and all. Spared the horses. Sandman and Casper, they were left to keep watch over the harvest moon. Some people said, well, it was coyotes. Someone else said, well, it could have been a wolf. You know what I said? Don't believe anything you hear and only half of what you see. Now, I took a look at the blood trail. Found one track. Coyotes hunt in packs. And the paw prints, they weren't in sets of 4. They were in sets of 2. And I've never seen a coyote or anything else walk on 2 legs. Paw print was too big for an animal to eat 2. Looked more like a man's, but some things you just can't explain. Now, there is a natural order to things in the woods. An animal only hunts what it can eat. This was not natural. This was rage combined with malicious intent. Now, I may live in Richwood, but we have cable. I was watching a TV show the other night about the Webster County werewolf. Well, I believe that about as much as I do Bigfoot. No offense to anyone that belongs to the Friends of Sasquatch Society. Now, I will tell you why I don't believe. Number one, I do not live in Webster County. I live in Nicholas County. Number two, West Virginia is wild. West Virginia is wonderful. West Virginia does not have any wolves. The last of them faded out about the start of the 19th century. But I do believe in the Mothman of Point Pleasant, West Virginia. Do you believe that? Do you? Of course you do. So I went back and I talked to Homer. I said, can you remember anything in particular about those nights that you lost your animals? First thing he talked about was the moon. He said it was big and bright in the sky. It had an orange tint to it. Blood moon. Second thing he talked about was a growl, a noise, something he'd never heard before. A noise that could send a shiver right up your back. He just called it the Howling on Hinkle Mountain. Now, one thing we knew for sure, this beast, whatever it was bad to the bone, and it was not going quietly into that good night. There was a dark cloud hanging over Hinkle Mountain and the rest of Richwood. Perhaps the silver lining could be found on the tip of a silver arrow. You see, I hunt with a bow. I can give Hawkeye a run for his money. Bingo. I thought maybe it was time to melt down those 1962 John F. Kennedy silver dollars I've been saving. See, I make my own arrows. And maybe, just maybe I'd seen the Wolfman one too many times with Don Cheney Jr. Like I said, we have cable. I fixed myself a plate of rams for dinner, and then I went back up to Homer's place and I saddled up old Casper. I guess I was thinking, well, if garlic works on vampires, rams should work on everything else. This pale rider, we headed down into Dunnigan Holler. And being that it was Dunnigan Holler, the deer were out. The moon was high, hunter's moon. And the loudest sound around was the babbling of the Cherry River. There is magic in these mountains. And if you lived here a day in your life, you would feel it in your soul. Casper and I went through Grove Rhododendron, and that's when we saw it. We saw it. That's right. Camp Splinter. That's a real place. Camp Splinter. I had many a wild and wonderful time growing up at Camp Splinter with the Boy Scout Troop 269, Richwood, West Virginia. Bill Harris was our scoutmaster. Fred Kraft helped him. And they taught us the Boy Scout motto very well. Always be prepared. We heard something. We headed towards the woods. An 8-point came out. It was spooked. I knew it was not me. I knew it was not Casper. And then I heard it. That sound. That sound that sent a shiver right up your back. The howling on Hinkle Mountain. I got off of Casper. I sent him back up to Homer's place. I was not going to lose him tonight. I kept my bow and I pulled it. I kept walking forward and I felt maybe I was the one who was being hunted. But then I heard it again. And this time I knew it was a sound of attack. I turned to my right. What I saw was 2 glowing eyes of red, fangs and claws. What that beast saw was the tip of a silver arrow. He might have got me, but I got him worse. I buried that beast right on the grounds of Camp Splinter. You all can call me Digger. Always be prepared. Now, that was a couple weeks ago. You know, moon's kind of bright tonight, isn't it? Oh my God, I'm blind. My gut, I feel like a turner inside. Skin feels like it's about to burn on too. Folks, I really do not want you all to see me this way. Even a man that's pure at heart says his prayers at night. Become a wolf when the wolf bane blooms. Oh, hell, you all know the rest. Mama Bear, man in, I could sure use some help right now.